just amazing. And while I don't necessarily appreciate our sister girl Amorosa because of her own interesting conduct, I will have to say, in a certain kind of secret spy kind of way, she has outfoxed the fox. Because sister girl decided to tape record her conversations with him. So, you know, it's just so interesting. Now, here's the final thing for us to think about. And this is really an important one for us to think about, how we treat each other. If all of those folks around this man respected, loved, and honored this man, do you think that they would be flipping and turning state's evidence on him? The fact that these people, national security advisor, campaign manager, lawyer to the president, the fact that these people are willing to cooperate with the prosecutors tells you that he doesn't really have any real relationships with anyone. And so when their butt is on the line, they let him know, we don't have a relationship with you either. We got a relationship with Mueller. Isn't that interesting, Ralph? Ain't nobody crying no crocodile tears. Remember Cohen said, I'll take a bullet for Mr. Trump. Now Cohen is saying, I got a bullet for Mr. Cohen said, I got a bullet for him. We're going to see. Cohen said, I love my country and my family. Interesting. What I think we need to bear witness to is this. There are certain principles in the world. Martin Luther King said the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards righteousness. The karma that you have with other people does indeed have something to do with how you are received and how you are treated. Be careful how you treat God's children, all of them. I don't care what color they are, because what you put out there will come back. And Brother Man is feeling it. I don't know whether impeachment will be the end, Patrick. It may very well be resignation. Because Peckergate, it's interesting how that last name of the dude at the National Enquirer, right? The owner's name is David Pecker. Isn't that something around Peckergate is about to blow up? Now, what is David Pecker saying? He's saying that he removed from the safe at his office at AMI, who owns the Enquirer, he removed information and pictures and video of 18 interactions, shall we call them, Pat, of ladies who had interacted with 45. And that 2 weeks or so ago, before Mueller called, they moved all of this information out of the safe, and it is now at a place to be disclosed. I wonder what's in those 18 files of those interactions. So we will see, but I have a feeling that Peckergate is going to leave Melania wondering about some stuff. She may have to go and get a, what is that test that you take to find out if you got something? She may be wondering if Donald brought some stuff with him to the White House. But this is all so interesting, right? That he said he was going to make America great, but in 18 months, all he has done is make America hate again, right? The levels of divisions along racial lines are stronger than they have ever been. His friends around him, the first 2 congressmen that endorsed him, the one in New York and the one in California, have now both been indicted. And it seems that he has the ability to attract not just greedy takers, vulture capitalists I call them, but they don't have a problem at all with violating the public trust. The one in California, Duncan, whatever, he's a military man like you, Sherman. Yesterday, I just had the biggest laugh, Ralph. They got Hunter on the yacht. He said, I didn't do anything. They said, man, but you went to China, France, and all over Europe with campaign money. No, I didn't do anything. He had the press conference the next morning. He says, 2 years ago, I named my wife as campaign manager and gave her the authority to sign all checks. I said, what a... This is a man. If you want to know about money, ask her. I wonder what this woman is thinking. Right? Now, I know black women, and you guys have some interesting names when you are upset with us. But Yvette, you know, you big business lady and lawyer. Eileen, you the risk management person. Dawn, you my market lady. Natasha, my nonprofit. Mahari, my author. But I know all of y'all, when y'all saw that dude talk about his wife is responsible, all y'all thinking, punk ass. I don't know what black women said, that punk ass.
You know what?
Like the man is supposed to say, you know, I made, you know, look, I'm a... But for him to say at the press conference, my wife is responsible, that is as low, you know, as it can get. But you know what? It's all, as Ms. Scott would say, happening the way it's supposed to happen. Just so that we keep it 100, then, did you have a period of time at all in the preceding years where you were not proud of the president or his wife? All those racists all over the country, all of those who made fun of Michelle and Barack, called them all kinds of names. Do you remember a time in the last 8 years where those folks ever embarrassed you? I'll put their record against the last 18 months any day. All right? In fact, I think there's some white folks that are longing to bring them back. Yeah. You know? And this don't even have anything to do with skin color. It just has something to do with competence. Right? We have occupying 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, in my opinion, a mob family with a German last name. That's what I think we have. This is straight up gangster, and they are not even good gangsters. They are fumbling, mumbling, bumbling, and stumbling gangsters. You know, but they are gangsters. And I'm so happy that the man who occupied 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue before these people looked like being no drama Obama. He went and told jokes on November the 5th, 2012, while Osama bin Laden was getting justice brought to his ass in Pakistan. Dude was telling jokes about Trump. Remember that show? Laughing? Yep. While stuff was happening. Think about that when folks want to bring some stuff to you about who you are and who we are. It is just so good. This morning I was at the gym working out, and some Trump dudes that I know, light-skinned brothers.
I see transplant.
Blonde hair.
Clear feathers.
They said, yeah, it's just so awful. And, you know, I mean, I didn't really agree with him, but, you know, I thought the policies were good for business, and it's just, what do you think about that, Stan? I said, man, this steam and this steam is wonderful. I I wanted them to just choke on their own spit. I was like, yeah, you all about it. At this gym that I work out at, Sean, when Trump was running, they had him there for a rally. And the owner was proud to have him. Now the owner is saying, this is the worst decision I ever made. What do you think about it, Stan? Hey man, you have this new equipment you got. I'm not letting them off the hook. You go wallow in this one yourself. This is your guy. I'm proud of my guy. My guy and his wife and his baby, they doing really good. This is your guy. You're going to own him. And you're going to deal with this stuff that he did on your own. This ain't our guy. What's up, baby? So, I wanted to give y'all my late night entertainment. And we're going to get started right now. We have a couple of people that will be joining us in a moment. If you would grab yourself something to eat, Alicia and Alicia's lady friend. This is your twin cousin? All right. Somebody got to help me. Twin brother and sister I know about. Twin cousin. That's a new one. But you guys grab yourself something to eat. Sit on down and we'll get going. You don't have anything else to bring up, do you?
No.
All right. I am. Alicia said I gotta make sure that all my setup is right.
Yeah, but I got a boss on campus for like a half an hour.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to call to the microphone our HR and event director, Ms. Summer Scott, who's going to take us forward from here. If you don't have something to write with, get something. Today is going to be a Celebrate Our Greatness. That's going to be a working session, and I'll tell you why it's going to be a working session. Everybody in the room heard of the University of Georgia? Heard of the University of Georgia? It is the main university in the state of Georgia. Take a grab a seat. Grab yourself something. Why am I mentioning the University of Georgia? Because the University of Georgia Business School, which gives out MBAs, is one of the most respected business schools in the state. It's called the Selig, S-E-L-I-G, Business Center. Business. And at the Selig School, they document the purchasing power. I want you to write purchasing power of African Americans, Hispanics, Native Americans, and South Asians, India, Pakistan, Philippines, right? They document their income annually. You have all been hearing me say since June the 1st that the urban community in the state of New Jersey represents $180 billion a year opportunity. So our keynote speaker at last month's Celebrate Our Greatness, Ms. Barbara George Johnson, says, Stan, do not say that anymore. It is not accurate. That is the gross domestic product of the Black community, the Latino community, the Native American, and the South Asian community here in the state. And gross domestic product is all the money that those households take in. Gross amount, gross domestic product. What you should be talking about, Stan, is purchasing power. Purchasing power is money to spend after taxes are paid. So I want you to write down how much is in our collective pocketbook and wallet that we can spend. That is important. We have our Chief Financial Officer, Ralph Henderson, here. He will tell you, it's not what you gross, it's what you get, right? That's purchasing power. Last year in the state of New Jersey, African American households had 46 billion in purchasing power. Hispanic New Jersey had 58 billion in purchasing power. Give it up for Darren Freedom Green who just came in the door. Looking like he's ready to sell some ice cream. Got on the tan. She looking like a Carmel squirrel. There you go. There you go. Freedom. Be right there with. There you go, Pastor. Now, so far, tell me this: 46 and 58 billion. What does that add up to, Yvette?
102.
What does that add up to, Ms. Scott?
What did you say?
58 billion and 46 billion. What does that add up to?
Why can't the
104.
104
Is that are those numbers? Are those numbers giving your mind bend?
48 plus 56 is $104 billion.
All right.
Yay, Google.
All right. Now add on 989 million for Asians and 313 million for Native Americans who live in this state. You're probably somewhere around 105 billion, right? Grab yourself something to eat. So you have about $105 billion to spend. Now, first thing, observations that come to Eileen, if you started at 180 billion and you ended up at 105 billion to spend, you see how much in taxes we pay, right? That's 75 right there, a lot. Taxes, right? So Sam and the state of New Jersey get about 75 from you on that money. But you have 180, you have 105 billion to spend. Now, I want y'all to write this down. I want you to think about it, right? And I believe in having SMART goals. SMART goals are stated. I said it. SMART goals are measured, right? It's measurable. SMART goals are achievable. I can do this. SMART goals are written. And SMART goals are time bound. I'm going to do this tomorrow. If your goal doesn't have a time that it's supposed to happen, you BSing yourself. It ain't going to happen. Because you don't have no date that it's supposed to happen. So on the written part, 100 billion needs to be thought about this way. $1 billion, Terrence, is 1,000 million. It's a million 1,000 times. So in every one of those 100 billions, there is 1,000 million. And you multiply that 1,000 by 100, that means that New Jersey potentially has 100,000 black millionaires that don't have to go outside of themselves to be a millionaire. That means everybody in this room that has a business, if you just sold to us, you can make $1 billion with your photography and video business, JB, and you won't ever have to ask no so-called white person to patronize you at all. It means you won't have to ask Al Sharpton to come and do a protest march for you. It means that you don't have to stick nobody up. It means that you don't have to call anybody any names to be a millionaire. The question, JB, is are you ready to take your video and photography business to 7 digits, right? So that you can be a 6-figure figure. Right? So now, that's just 1 billion. 100 billion, there's 100,000 of y'all like to be a millionaire. Now let's break it down. 6 figures, 100,000. That means there's 1 million of you that can earn 6 figures without having to go outside of your community. That is what I'm after. The goal of the Matthews broadcast is to make you aware what is in your collective pocketbook and why. But are you ready for that? That's what we're here today to talk about. Mahari, are you ready to live at 7 figures? 7 figures at $20 only means that you need 50,000 people to buy one copy. Are you ready to do what is necessary to get 50,000 people to buy one copy of your book? Right? Ali trying to look away from me. Ali saying, I don't want him to fall on me.
It's okay.
But here's what I want y'all to do, and I'm going to give it to Ms. Scott. I want you to write down, I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. And I earned $20,000 or more every week. Providing excellent products and services to my people. Why do I want you to write that down? Because it is possible. We have $105 billion to spend with you and the ability to create 100,000 millionaires from among us without asking anybody else jack. But are you ready to make what you just wrote manifest? The book of John says, in the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was God, and God was with the Word. Logos is Word. Logos is God. The 80th Psalm of the Bible says, Moses speaking, and I tell you, ye are gods and children of the Most High God. You ain't God number one, but you're God's children. So if you are God's children, and the word is that you're a millionaire, then now go and make it happen, or leave it alone. I was talking to Patrick about this dream that I had 4 years ago of creating 100,000 black millionaires in the state on this base of purchasing power. And the only question that remains, are y'all ready to be that? See, there was a time in this country that you could say the law won't allow me to be that. There was a time in this country where you could say the white man is stopping me. There was a time in this country where you could say, I don't have the capital. There was a time in this country where you could say, don't have the skills. You can't tell me that lie to my face anymore. If you, ladies and gentlemen, are not ready to get a healthy chunk of that $105 billion, this human being is going to tell you, it ain't my fault. It's the person looking you in the mirror. You're not ready for that. But I believe that you are. I believe that you are. I know I'm looking at some millionaires in the room. And Samuel Scott, Sherman Riggins, our keynote, and Patrick Fennell, our personal development team, they're here to help you get to that place. So, you will not hear from me again, but I wanted to set the table of what you are here to work on today. Do you think what you wrote on that paper about yourself is worth being here for? Do y'all think y'all can make that happen? Do y'all think y'all can make that happen? Well, Harry, you look like a 7-figure queen to me. And I know that everybody in this room, you all sit in the circle. The store isn't open now, the meeting is open. I want y'all to be with us. queens. I know Alicia's a seven-figure queen. Alicia Woodard of NVU Naturals. There's a couple of chairs right there. And the twin brothers. What's your name? Ennis, it's a pleasure. All right, our HR director and our event director, Ms. Simon Scott. She said it's a good song, so I guess it was good.
Y'all might guess I'm particular. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I've been saying good afternoon since before it was afternoon. I guess I'm in the right time frame now. First, I'd like to say, I always like to start with some housekeeping. If you need to use the restrooms, they are out the door and down the little corridor to the right there. Please silence your personal devices. I guess nowadays people just have cell phones. I was thinking about a pager and all that. I don't know where the brain is today. A pager, how? Okay, yes, I had a pager. And a cell phone, but it was this big. But anyway, silence your devices, put them on vibrate or mute. So we, again, I want to just take the time in respecting your time, energy, and presence here with us. I want to apologize for starting so late. The next Celebrate Our Greatness, we will have tightened that up. So thank you for your patience and your family gifting of that to us, okay? So we'll make sure that we tighten up things that need to get tightened up. Your time is crucial. Two things they don't make no more of, land and your time. Everybody with me? So I apologize for that. So we're going to move through our spotlight speakers. We'll have our guest speaker, Patrick, come up, interview, and talk about the success. You're going to hear from Ralph, our South Jersey Chair and Chief Financial Officer, our motivational membership and motivation. You're going to hear from Darren Freedom Green. I always call him free because he is free in the mind. And then we'll hear from our keynote speaker, Mr. Sherman Riggins, right? And then everyone here who's going to share their business in a spotlight manner will hear from you. I'll give some ground rules before that begins. But I had a message that I wanted to bring to you today. And that message is of gratitude. You cannot even think about approaching $1 million or seven-figure business without the heart of gratitude being present. Now let me rephrase that. Of course you can. But the trials, tribulations, hell, and mayhem that you will endure on the way to those seven figures is not really worth the seven figures. So you want to stand in a position of gratitude. So indulge me here a moment as I offer this blessing and prayer on this meeting. Everybody take a deep breath and breathe out through the nose. 2 more breaths and breathe out through the nose. We want to thank Divine Universal Spirit for putting us in a place of gratitude, grateful for a heart full of joy, no matter what the circumstances are in your life. We want to thank Divine Presence for protecting us and covering us in love. We want to thank Divine Presence that we have an integrity-based heart and that we deal from a position of integrity with those who we encounter. We want to be grateful for a loving spirit. And we want to be thankful for the flowing abundance that comes into our life, that we may accept that currency and allow it to be shared amongst those that God sends to us. We always want to stand in a position of gratitude, because even when it looks crazy and hard and against you, there is a reason to be grateful even in that space. So yes, go get your multi-millions. but do it from a position of love, integrity, and gratitude. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And now write one thing on your paper that you are grateful for. Just one. Just one. Your health might not be where it is, but it ain't as bad as somebody else's.
That's right.
Your feet may not fit them cute shoes, but sure enough, you got feet. Your waistline may not look like it used to. Come on, and you might need a red wagon to drag your butt behind you, but you can drag and walk. Are you with me? They got clothes for that size waist. Gratitude. Gratitude. Thank you for that, for allowing me to share that. All right, peace and love, everyone. Let's move on then. Okay, so here in the Inner Circle in the Matthews broadcast, it's our mission to love on you, to celebrate your greatness. And that's what we're doing here today. Each one of you here has an offering that is necessary, vital, and special. We need every single thing that each one of you do, we need it. No matter if you think it is relevant to today's celebration and message, that's not even the point. You have something in your spirit, you should bring it forth wholeheartedly and with gusto and vigor. And what creates wealth is passion. So if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you ain't gonna make no money. People can take, that's like a skunk. You can't see the skunk, but you can smell it. Are you with me? You have to be passionate about what it is that you are doing. If you cannot find the passion in what you're offering, you have to tweak the offering or get rid of it altogether. Your life should be filled with joy and passion. It's not about drudgery. Drudgery is not what creates greatness. Passion and joy for what you're doing. Joy for the people in your life. Joy that people in your life are helping you to experience. That's what creates greatness. So if you're miserable, you got to make some adjustments. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Make some adjustments so that can flow through. And there's no obstructions, no stagnations. The energy's flowing. And along with the energy comes the currency. Why do they call it currency? Because it's electric, it's energy moving. That's what money is. Anybody who tell you don't need money is trying to subdue you. That's foolish. You need money. The sin is in the poverty.
Right.
It's not in the abundance. The sin is in being poor, broke, hungry, can't pay nothing, word to death, and now you got a heart attack, an aneurysm or something because you can't pay nothing.
Right.
You with me?
Yes, true.
I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm just sharing it with y'all today.
No soul.
Thank you, Derek. Anyway, I was not supposed to be saying all of that, and I did say we would respect your time, but everything is as it should be. All right? All right, so that's my message I want to share with you. To the business of the Inner Circle, I don't think I was off that point, but to the itinerary that we have planned for you today, I want to first ask everybody to stand up and shake your legs out. Y'all been sitting a long time. Sitting is the new smoking. You should not sit for more than an hour at a time because the body becomes stagnant, the lungs slow down, the heart slows down, and you could be susceptible to blood clots, aneurysms, and just overall, filling up the seat. Get up and move it around. Shake your legs out. Shake your legs out. Good. If you can, come up on your toes and reach for the ceiling a little bit. Come on. That requires that you don't have nothing in your hand, Mr. Grissom. Up, reach, and now just shake it down. Come on, one more. Reach up, and then shake it down. Reach up, and then shake it down. And then shake it out. Come on, shake. Get that bottom part moving, Patrick. All right, that's it. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a shake up. All right, so let's move on. We're going to keep this tight. If you were given 25 minutes or 15 minutes, that is now cut. Because we got to keep everything tight. So succinct, make your message concise, okay? All right. So we had our founder, Stan Matthews, give the intro, and he did that in only the way that he can. Can I say we should really celebrate Mr. Matthews. Celebrate him. Give him a big round of applause. You know, I see what he does when y'all ain't here. And I see the work that he puts in and that, and how many people are calling him for, you know, to need him in a lot of different capacities. This is a man, unlike any other man who is kingly, has a lot of balls in the air. It ain't a king in this room that got one ball spinning. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And so we just want to sell, we're going to hear about this afterwards. But I just want y'all to know this man is working so hard because he believes in all of you and he wants everyone to be successful.
Yep.
So let's just give him a little more love, a little more round of applause. Come on now, come on, that's it. Give him some love and he can take with him to the next CEO. Excellent. All right, so there are principles of the InterCircle and the Matthews broadcast that we'd like to celebrate. And I'm going to bring up my partner in our training that we'll be doing for you, and that's Mr. Patrick Fennell. Let's give him a round of applause. Are you surprised? Patrick. Yep. You're up, Patrick. I'm sure it is.
Very much. So good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. See, now you got me off on timing. Just a couple things really quick. I just have two questions, a little bit to share, and then I'm going to grab a seat. My first question, who in here wants to be successful? Feel that. I'm feeling that. All right, I'm going to ask you a different question then. Who in here wants to be great?
Yeah.
That's a little better. Now, my question is, what's been holding you back? What has the barrier been to you being successful, to you being great?
Right.
What's getting in the way? And that's not a rhetorical question. You tell me, what's been getting in the way?
My own self.
Your own self. Sometimes, as Stan alluded to earlier, sometimes we think about who's held me back, what they haven't allowed me to do. Sometimes we think about and talk about, well, I don't have all the expertise that I need. Sometimes some people say, I don't have enough money. If I had more money, then I would go out and I'd be able to do all these different things. Well, the truth is that, as Free just said, a major part of what holds us back is our own self-imposed limitations.
Right.
Anybody know how they train a circus elephant?
They take a ring, wrap it around one of the ankles, and then they take a spike, 6 or 7 inches, and drive it through the ground. And that's how they train the elephant to stay put. And then they use that same philosophy to train to go off different tricks.
Exactly what it is, right? They take it in the beginning. Now, we know that because of the impact that it has on elephants, that's why they stopped bringing them to zoos, that's why they stopped bringing them to circuses, but they would take that baby elephant,
Right.
and because it starts when you're small, right? Because they gotta get to you early on, and so when you're young, they take you, they put those chains around each one of the legs, they put those 6-inch stakes in the ground, and then in the beginning, the elephant tries to break away. He doesn't want to be there. But after a while, it realizes it can't go anywhere, and so the trainer starts to tell it what to do, and it starts to acquiesce a little bit. And once it gets to a certain level, they take one of those chains off. They have 3 legs chained, 1 leg free. They keep trying to train it, and then after a while, it gets to a certain level. They take the second one off. They take the third one off. Sometimes they get to a point where they would take that last chain, and they would replace it with a thin rope. And then after a while, once it got completely trained, they take it off, and now the elephant is completely free. It can do whatever it wants to do. But what does the elephant do? Nothing. It stays there and waits for somebody to tell it what to do next. One of our greatest barriers is based on what we've been told who we are, and what we can do, and what we can't do.
Say that.
And that ultimately, it's our job to recognize who we really are. Right? And so in this inner circle, I'm excited to be a part of this inner circle because this inner circle is a collection of like-minded people that know that we are great, that we have the ability to be successful, but then our job is to be able to put ourselves in a place of doing what it is that we set out to do. Right now, the inner circle is based on the four C's of success, right? That one of it is clients, part of it is connections, part of it is coaching, and part of it is capital. That we need all four of those if we're going to be great, if we're going to be successful. My area is focused on the coaching piece, the coaching, the training, the education. That what I do is that I take us from potential to reality.
There it is.
That it is one of the greatest wasted things in the world to say I have potential, but never get it to the point of actually using it. So my focus is to be able to coach, to train, to educate. A lot of it will be about self-awareness, but also about how do I develop the people around me as well, because we're only as strong as our weakest link. And so when we come together and we learn, when we're able to be more aware of myself and my surroundings, when I'm able to build the skills that I need, when I'm able to be able to put together a plan. Because it's one thing to say I want something, but it's another thing to create a plan in order to do it. So that's ultimately part of what I will be bringing to the inner circle, what I'll be looking to share with all of you, and I'm excited to be able to do that. There are two handouts that we'll send around. One of them is this Matthew's broadcast, the inner circle, just talking about who we are.
Right.
Yeah, you can take those. Right, because it's difficult to be successful if we don't know who we are first.
Right.
And so this is just a little brief introduction. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we had our first orientation online, and so I'll be doing online orientations on a monthly basis. So for everyone that's brand new, we'll be able to understand who we are and what to expect, the value that the inner circle brings, that there's nothing that we need that's outside of this circle. And as we continue to build this circle, we won't have to rely on anybody but ourselves and God to do what He's called us to do. The second sheet that I want to pass around is that there you go, is a leadership series that I've created specifically for this inner circle group. Now, the work that I do, I travel around the country, training different organizations, coaching executives, managers, supervisors, but I've created something specific for this group that on a monthly basis, so once a month, there will be 12 different sessions, one a month, that will talk about this leadership series to help prepare us to be what God has called us to be. And so when you look at it, you'll see there are 4 different themes. The first one is preparing yourself, right? That we have to gain clarity on our purpose.
Right.
And if I'm not clear on my purpose, I find myself walking around in circles. I have people lead me in directions I don't need to go.
Right.
That second piece will be self-management. How am I going to manage somebody else if I can't manage me? So that's my time. That's how do I prioritize? How do I delegate to other people? How do I manage multiple things? Because if we are going to be great, we do have to have multiple things up in the air all at the same time. So how do I do that? Right, and that third piece, personal accountability and emotional intelligence. If I can't be accountable for me, I can't hold somebody else accountable when I don't lead by example.
Right.
The second month will be, or not the second month, the second quarter will be developing people. I have to develop the people around me if we're going to be able to be great as well. Setting goals and expectations. How do I effectively train and coach and counsel people to keep them on track? How can I be more productive and motivate the people around me? So that'll be our second quarter. Third quarter, leading your team. Right, so understanding how we build a team and how it grows in stages. And so what do I do and how do I react? Shared values, mission, and vision. If we don't see the same thing, we're not going to be about the same thing. And then the final one, empowering, influencing, and persuading people. Right, that empowering people, to me, I have 2 organizations. Empowerment Solutions is one. Empowerment Institute is a 501c3 nonprofit that I do mentoring and father engagement, getting dads involved in the lives of their children. My favorite definition of empowerment is to lead others to lead themselves.
All right now, you better say that again. Slow that down now.
Yeah.
Empowering people, empowerment means to lead others to lead themselves.
That's it.
And so this is how we're going to be able to lead teams, how we influence and persuade others. The last one, overcoming challenges. We know that being a leader is a challenge. It doesn't happen by itself, and it's not easy to do. But yet we have the ability to overcome that. And so conflict and generational differences, how do we overcome that? How do we manage change? Most people, whenever things change, they tend to push back. Right? So we need to embrace change as an opportunity, right? Because and that's really what's happening right here, that we have an opportunity to have a piece of $105 billion.
Yeah, it is.
That's
What we have to do is prepare ourselves to change so that we can embrace what it is that's right here in front of us.
That's right.
So I thank you all so much.
Yeah, man.
Hold on a minute.
Stay with me. In the interest of time, I think he earned this piece of paper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Here we
Man.
go.
The guy at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue says, I'm only gonna hire the best people.
That's right.
Did he say that? And then they all got locked up. Well, we really gonna hire the best
Right,
people.
right.
White folks pay this man a lot of money for
Yeah.
what's between these two here.
That's
Yeah.
right.
This is my man. I love him to death. I watch his work from a
Love
distance.
him to life.
I watch him from a distance doing great things with multinational companies.
Yeah.
He's a bad man.
Yes, he is.
But he understands that we need him and that mind in this community.
Yes, sir.
Oftentimes, our best and brightest have run away from
Right,
us.
right,
This ain't gonna happen here. He has a heart for us.
right.
And I'm glad that, we can't, I told him what we could pay. We can't pay what them folks pay.
Right.
Not yet. Right? So we're gonna go through the ritual,
Yeah,
right? And he's gonna help us to get rich enough to give him what he's worth a little bit.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
I like
my
that.
man.
I like that.
Listen to him. Get on these webinars that he does. Listen to him. Learn from him. Those folks don't pay him because he don't know nothing. And when you hear from Sherman, you're going to see why Princeton pays him what they pay. These folks are dynamite in the Main Street economy, and now we want to take advantage of that $105 billion opportunity so he can help us build our retirement economy. Thank you, my brother.
So before Patrick sits down, I wanted to just share with you all the training arm of the Matthews Broadcast and the InterCircle Network comes under the My Wellness and Empowerment Solutions logo. And so everybody who has become a new member will receive a certificate of completion, and that has gone through the orientation. This is the certificate of completion that we are sharing with all of everyone who has taken the orientation and completed it. This happens to say Brian Fleming, he's not there here today. Everyone who is here, who's here that went through the orientation? Right, so you will receive your certificate. We've ordered them and they'll be in probably within a week, okay? We'll make sure that you get it. We also have, thank you, Patrick, that's very wonderful. Give him a hand. In addition, we'll also have other trainings, in addition to the training that Patrick will be providing. We will also have other trainings that are 360-degree intentioned, right? So it's one thing to have the intellectual understanding of how to improve and personal development. It's another thing to have actual practical working various dimension skills. So we're going to pull experts from our group and have them train you on the various aspects of what it means to be an entrepreneur. Look for your requested participation and what you think the next training is going to, what training you'd like to take up next in terms of the whole person or 360-degree training. Look for your email on that. Make sense for everyone?
Yeah.
All right, I'll lift my note thing. Okay, so we have to move on. Let me get, left my notes, sorry. All right, so the next person that we want to bring up, just to say a few words, is our South Jersey chair. The InterCircle is a chapter-based organization, so we have chapters now, North Jersey, Central Jersey. We have a chapter in Harlem that is getting itself together, and a chapter, Florida? Washington, D.C., right? So we are growing, but here today we want to give the mic to not only the South Jersey chair, but our chief financial executive and officer and all-around great guy. Ralph. Hey, Pat. Let's give Ralph Henderson a hand, please.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. I just want to talk to everybody today about cohesion and membership.
Right.
It's very important that we get the message of membership out to all of our community, especially the young. I remember when I was younger, I had these great ideas, but I had no direction. And I spent a lot of time expending a lot of energy not knowing how to effectively focus. But an organization like this one provides mentorship and leadership that can provide these young, energetic people a direction so they can be very positive and expand our influence that we started right here. So I would offer that we have a rare and unique opportunity to build a legacy through the membership in this organization as we talk to each of these individuals that we personally know. We don't really necessarily have to mentor the whole world, but the one or two people that you know that can really use some guidance and can look around and see individuals that are performing at a high level, being articulate, respectful, and just very cohesive. When the group needs help, or an individual in the group needs help, someone can step up and advise them. We have all of these experts that do many different things. There's a couple of people here that are really energetic. I'm probably not one of those people, but they're very I'm not really that outgoing, but we have an outgoing group of people, and I'm learning. I'm getting to the point where I'm more comfortable interacting more freely. And that's something we need. I need to get outside my comfort zone. I want you to teach the people that you interact with to do the same thing. And I want to offer the benefit of membership. And so through that mechanism, we will reach out, and as Dan and Scott had mentioned, the organization is growing. There are people who are listening to the broadcast who are not in Jersey, who love the idea and are embracing the idea. And we actually want to do more of that, or as much as we can. So for all of the people who are thinking, man, I really hate my job, or that job just doesn't do what I need it to do, I want you to give you courage to go out and fail. I mean, literally go out and fail. Yeah. Because you know what? When you look into we listen to the stories of all these people who have become super wealthy, they failed 1,000,000 times at everything they tried. And I want you to encourage these people, you only need to succeed once. You can fail as many times as you like. You can fail and fail and fail, and each time you're going to get better and better. And you don't have to fail in the same thing. If your sculpture business doesn't work out, you can think go into the jewelry business. Your jewelry business doesn't work out, you can go into the courier and delivery business. It doesn't matter. What I really need us as a group to do is to encourage the people who have the energy and the mindset to be entrepreneurs to do so. All right, I want to say thank you, and to the next, I'm going to hand it off to Ms. Scott so she can.
Well, hold on a minute.
Stay right there.
Mr. Matthews is coming up.
All right, yeah.
Now, usually you get money from the chief financial officer, so we got to give some money to the chief financial officer. That 20% commission check to Ralph is for recruiting Rashid Ali, our property management specialist from Elite Visions Property Management, who is on his way from Southern Jersey. Remember, the way this organization is structured, as you help us grow, 20% of every broadcast InterCircle membership of 250, 20% is yours. And yes, we are growing. We now have people starting in Atlanta, Georgia, Otis Brown, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Mr. Tyrone Ash, in Houston, Texas, in North Carolina, in Charlotte, Miss April Gale Wells. We had set the bar that we need at least 10 people in a chapter to have an official chapter. 20, but we lowered it to 10 because we think that we'd rather have 10 fired up people than 20 people who aren't really doing anything, right, Ralph? So the idea and the concept is merited on this. I told you in the state of New Jersey, $105 billion for the purchasing power for the black community only, without our Hispanic brothers and sisters, Native Americans or Asians. Nationally, look it up, 1.4 trillion. That's what you have nationally. So the concept of economic unity, taking us forward as a national concept, Patrick, has merit. All right, so I want to thank Ralph. Ralph is going to make sure we have the dollars that we need to continue to grow. And you know what? I know him, and he does already. We're going to keep growing. And his only other job besides taking care of the broadcast money and the InterCircle money is taking care of that beautiful woman right there. And he's doing a great job of that. So thank you, Ralph, and thank you, Mother Pat. And Q at Arizona State University.
All right, wonderful. We're moving along. We plan to be finished with this portion of our program by 1:15, so you can have plenty of time to network and talk with each other, okay? Don't leave out of here without talking with somebody that you don't know, okay? Don't talk to the same folk you came in here with. Go talk to somebody who you look like you may not want to talk to them. Just go right up to them like a little junkyard puppy and be like, hey, what's up? Like that, okay? Because that's the point. Somebody said if you got a business and you're keeping it to yourself, what good is that?
Right.
All right, don't complain you're hungry, don't nobody know what you're doing, right? All right, so let's move on now. I want to comment about something that Ralph said, and he said that have the courage to fail, right? Go ahead and keep doing it until you fail. Do you know the #1 amount of people that are starting businesses are women over 50? Hello. Yes, sister girls over 50 are starting. This is the #1 new category. You know, some of the great icons in history did not hit the big stride until they were 70. Yeah, 70, and he was thrown out of the bar for fighting his own client in the court. He was ruckus. He had to calm down, right? So I'm saying that to say, I won't be long, but I'm saying that to say, even if it looks like it's not going, just hang in there. Right. Keep your head clear. Right. Try to find the vein. Just change it a little bit, tweak it, you know, move it around, but keep going. Because if you're still here, then God's still got a purpose for you. All right?
You got a community that won't let you fail.
And you got a community right here. We are now a tribe. Welcome to our tribe. All right. Okay, so moving on now. Now we want to bring up our membership and motivation speaker, Darren Freedom Green. Free your mind. Come on, fabulous.
All right.
There you go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm not going to be long. My soul's in a bad place. I was delayed today coming because there were 4 shootings in Trent last night. And we shouldn't be shocked and surprised because poverty is strategic. And whenever you see the reality of what's unfolding, you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do? That's the question I'm asking now of each one of you. So when you ask, why am I here? Why am I doing outreach? Why is Stan have me in this critical position to make decisions to change conditions? It's because I have generations counting on me. 1963, 4 little girls were in Sunday school. Dynamite went off and killed them. But the question we had to ask then was, we were clear on who the enemy was then. When I came from the hospital this morning, those that were being shot by those who looked like them. But I didn't come here to beat up the oppressed or the marginalized, but rather my job is to empower them. So I'm here as one of the InterCircle to tell you, you need to join today. There's no need in waiting, and you don't have tomorrow to count on. Each second that you're existing, you must take and value it, because tomorrow isn't promised to no man or woman. All you have is right now. So my 2 points to you today is, I want you to murder something. Murder procrastination. Right. Stop waiting around as if you have tomorrow, as if something's coming around the corner. In this moment, you're blessed to be amazing. Why not connect with the people who are doing it? Murder the doubt that's in your mind that you can't be amazing. Murder the fear that somebody in systemic systems of indoctrination have told you that you couldn't. I'm saying to you from the depths of my soul that you can't. You have amazing individuals like Patrick. That's why I'm here. because I have to give. You can see it, you're hearing it now. Sound coming out of my mouth at 1,120 feet per second is amazing, but until I learn the technicalities of learning how to move my business forward, I can't impact generations. I want Patrick to pour so I can drink it, then I can give it to those who need me. Say it to them. That's what I came here for. There's no games played. And Mama Smooth asked the question, where was she getting those words from? She was getting it from the depths of her soul. You didn't see me get up here with no computer, there's no iPad, there's no regurgitated information. This is what I'm supposed to speak to you at this moment in time. The last thing I will say to you is the inner circle gives you an opportunity to live, to give, and be a part of something that is bigger than yourself. And if we can do that and commit to each other, then the world will be something amazing for us to leave. The man who was born blind, the question was asked, who did sin that he was born in such a way? And the master asked simply, he was born so that God's ability and power could be made manifested. Generations like us have been born blind. Blind to privilege, blind to millions, blind to influence, to opportunities, to empowering ourselves that if somebody amongst this inner circle has a problem, we can immediately address it. Now, we're not doing no GoFundMe in here. We're doing a Go We Me by investing in each other's daily. That's what we're doing here. After we get done making excuses, there won't be any. Leave you with the words that Stan lives by. 1 Peter 4:8. Above all, love each other. Because love covers a multitude of sins. The greatest sin we can commit is coming into rooms and not connecting with the amazing gifts we have for each other. The other sin that we can commit is leaving our babies and generations with broken promises, broken lives, and broken credit. I came in to empower you. God bless you.
Come on now.
All right.
What we gonna say? What we gonna say after that, right? That's we know the great psychologist.
Murder, doubt.
Murder, doubt,
Murder,
procrastination.
Murder, procrastination. That's what
The great lawyer and psychologist Mel Robbins, no relation to Tony, says that procrastination is actually stress. That a person is stressed so they do not do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
The distraction is relieving stress. Well, I'll do that tomorrow. Let me watch these cat videos. Or I don't know, am I talking to the right room? With
Yeah,
the
you are.
You know, those little 2-second cooking things, those 2-minute cookings, how to make a guacamole pie. Y'all never saw those little tasty little 2-minute on social media cooking videos? I'll tell you what I'll be doing.
I just see that, though.
Procrastination is stress. You want to pick something up here?
Yeah, I want Don Daniels and Barry McLean.
So we having a program shift.
Before our keynote speaker. No, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to make sure we
No
have
worries,
time
dear.
so we don't have to do the long thing. All right. So I want to thank Dawn Daniels for recruiting the member, Terrence Briscoe.
It's commission time, y'all.
Thank your brother for joining. At least say that.
Yes, Terrence, thank you for seeing our vision and becoming a member. Thank you for everybody for coming and for being present on time, always coming, smiling. And I just love being a part of a wonderful organization.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. Sometimes I want to give up, but I can't because I just feel the greatness.
Call Patrick when you feel like that.
I definitely
Call
will.
Free when you feel like
And
that.
I
Call
definitely-
Sherman when you feel like
And
that.
I enjoyed the organization. I thought it was wonderful. And I can't wait for everybody else to join and be a part of it. So that's what I thank everybody.
All right, Barry McLean, I want to thank you for helping the videos of the first 16 people who are advertising on Comcast's platform. Your videos will start to run on Monday on the Oprah Winfrey Network, on the BET Network, on MSNBC and VH1. Barry uploaded the videos for all of you over a period of 3 days to Comcast Technical Center in Chester, Pennsylvania. The videos were uploaded, accepted, and rejected 3 times. Barry had never done this before. Never done this before, and just kept on using that technical gift that God blessed him with, and now your videos are set, and guess what else is happening? Barry knows now how to interact with the world's largest cable provider. I don't give into fear, but I didn't know if he could do it. I asked him by text, I said, Barry, have you ever done commercials? Because the white lady asked me, well, you do have a videographer that knows how to do this. I said, yes. I said, Barry, do you know how to do that? I went to let her pump me around. Yes, we do. So, Barry, this is for you. This is our small token. If you want to share anything, even if you want to share the experience of how it, you know, working with their support center and all that went on. But now he knows it. And so now we can deliver to the state of New Jersey all of your businesses every month so that all those folks that got that 105 billion can know who you are and what you do. And this is your technical genius to help them make it happen.
All right, everybody, moving on. It's so wonderful. It's very lovely energy. We are having a great time here. But without further delay, we want to introduce to you one of our most sought after members for his speaking and his work with Ivy League institutions, and he's here to share with us that wisdom that's in that big brain of his as well. I just want to say though, there's a lot of talent in this room. Everybody has some amazing gifts and skills. Even if your skill is flipping pies or changing babies, it's a necessary skill. Everybody make sense? And to that end, we're going to hear, you know, in earnest and with encouragement and, you know, a prosperous message from our keynote speaker, Mr. Sherman Riggs. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit disorganized. Sorry about that.
Good afternoon.
Good
Can you guys hear me off the mic?
Yeah.
Well, I can get louder, so. I move around a lot, so having the mic in my hand can be kind of dangerous. I might. So, Stan reached out to me and said, well, I want you to come out and speak. And of course, as a speaker, you never turn an opportunity to speak, right? Speakers speak is what we do.
That's right.
I like to think we're pretty good at it. As someone said, they pay me a lot of money to do it. Ivy League schools, high schools, athletic programs, the NFL, Boys and Girls Clubs. I'm not going to get into the whole list. But I want y'all to know, what I'm telling you guys that to let you know that, you know, I'm not fly by night. Retired Army, 23 years in the Army, and I didn't know that I was doing motivational speaking. I didn't know that I was coaching and mentoring people. Well, the Army called it mentoring, but I didn't realize it was really coaching. You know, I realized that later on. By the time I realized it, I was already out of the Army about 5 or 6 years. And then I turned this into a business. My best friend, who's a lawyer, and if you know anything about lawyers, not any lawyers in the audience? If you know anything about lawyers, they don't let anything go by without charging a fee. And that's how they earn their money. Well, my best friend said, well, he saw me do a speech over at Steiner High School here in Hamilton Township, and he was like, man, you're still good. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I may be older, but I'm good. And he said, this was about 11 years ago. And he said, well, how much did they pay you for that? And I said, well, nothing. But we were walking, he literally stopped. And by the time I realized he wasn't beside me, I was about 50 feet ahead of him. And I looked back and said, where you going? Let's go, it's cold out here. And he said, we're not going to do that crap anymore. He didn't say crap. Right? He said, we're from Parish Street. we got some colorful language when we get together. He's my very best friend. We've been friends since kindergarten. So I turned it into a business. So that's what I want to try to deliver to y'all today, is that Stan gave me the subject of what it takes to be successful. If you want to be successful in anything, right, There's tons of books you can read. There's tons of video you can watch. I got a bunch of YouTube videos you can watch. You can attend all types of seminars and everything and events to do this. But one thing that I'm telling you that you need to do, because I already remember the inner circle, you need to join the inner circle. You need to join the inner circle. I'm going to tell you why. Was it $105 billion?
Yep.
It's a lot of zeros. A lot of zeros. And I can remember when I got my first big paycheck, and I thought that was a lot of zeros. But as I started working with other people, dealing with other speakers, Tony Robbins was one of them, Eric Thomas, Les Brown, and then I saw their paychecks. I was like, heck am I doing? I'm way off. I mean, my prices were like nothing. Les Brown, $100,000 for 1 hour speech.
Make some adjustments.
Oh yeah, big time adjustments. You know, and the list just goes on and on. Tony Robbins is involved with about 100 different companies throughout the world that generate about, I think it's $4 or $5 billion a year. $4 or $5 billion a year. And the one thing that all of these people say that help them to generate their income is they have an inner circle. They have an inner circle. They have a group of people around them that hold them accountable, that coach them, that remind them on a regular basis that they can do it. Les Brown, one of Les Brown's key speeches or key comments that he always says is, "You're the one."
Yes, right.
You're the one.
Yeah.
There's nobody else like you. And make no mistake about it. You can, you know, I have 3 kids. My son looks like me. His name is Sherman, but he ain't Sherman. He ain't Sherman. You know, I like to think that I take a lot after my father. And let me say this about my dad. I romanticize a lot about my father. You guys understand what that means. He wasn't exactly the best guy, but he's my dad. He let me wear it out.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm not him, right? I'm not him. But all of us can draw on the help and the wisdom of everybody in this room. The inner circle is it's amazing. It's amazing. I've sat in meetings with people who are talking billion-dollar deals. I'm talking about literally. Everybody want to be a fly on the wall? I've sat in the room where I'm literally a fly on the wall. They know I'm there. They brought me in because they want me to talk to them. This is one of my coaching clients. I want me to talk to them after the meeting breaks up. But it's a billion-dollar deal. And they talk about, you gotta hear this. They talk about $1 billion by saying, well, that's going to be about 30. Right? So I'm thinking $30. I'm from the hood, y'all. I'm thinking $30, right?
Very street.
Yeah, from Barry, from Cal Street, I'm from Stuyvesant Avenue before it was the Yak. Right. Martin Luther King was Princeton Avenue, that's where I'm from.
Right.
And so he said, well, it's going to be about 30. And one guy says, 30? He said, I think we should make it like 100. So I'm thinking like 100? No problem with me. And then I realized these guys are talking billions, millions. None of them look like us. None. So that fly on the wall was me. Sitting in the back over there, like right actually where you're sitting at. So I'm sorry to point you out. That's where I was sitting, like right there. Big room like this full of people. And they're all talking about this money. And this was their inner circle. This was their inner circle. And one of the things they said was, okay, how do we get the 100? And they never say million. They never say billion. They just say, how do we get to the 100? One guy said, you know, I'll throw 10 in. I'll throw 3. I'm throwing 3. Again, once I realized we're talking about billions, like, who the hell's got a $10 million laying around for the people in this room?
Right.
That's their inner circle. So the inner circle is important, guys. Join. Join. That ain't necessarily my subject. However, I'm going to tell you, join the inner circle. If you don't have an inner circle around you, start with this one. Start with this one. Stan has done a lot of good work. This thing is phenomenal. This thing is phenomenal. It's going to grow. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get better. So let me get into my subject. What does it take to be successful? Now, I believe everybody has a dream. Everybody has a why. Everybody has a success story. Like, how do you define success? Everybody's got one, right? And I believe that you have a right to pursue it. Nobody has a right to stop you. You do not, however, have a right to achieve it. Let that set in for a second. I'm going to say it again. You do not have a right to achieve your dream or to achieve your success. You don't automatically get that right. How do you get it? You want to take a guess? Work. You get the right to achieve your dream, to achieve your own personal success from the work that you put in to achieve it. Nobody can give it to you. That's why the person who wins the lottery is broke in 7 years. That's why. They put any work into it. They put any work into it. You know, but once you put the work in, and you start going through all the trials and tribulations, you start dealing with doubt, fear, failure. I don't get into my feelings. You know, then all of a sudden, when you start achieving your success, it's yours, and it gets locked in. It gets locked in. So what I'm going to talk to you about, what I want to discuss with you just is 6 different, what I call the Rigorous Coaching Institute, 6 different rules for achieving your dream or achieving your success. There's 6 that I'm going to give you. The first one, identify what your success or your dream is. The second, be ready, willing, and able to give up something good to get something great. And you also have to be willing to give up everything about you. Everything about you. I'm going to break these all down for you, Big Bird Barney style in a minute. Develop your action plan. Execute your action plan. Refine your action plan as you go. And the last one, number 6, don't quit. Don't ever quit. No matter how hard it gets, don't quit. Keep pushing forward. So the first one, identify your success in your dreams. Anybody heard of Napoleon Hill?
Yes.
1936. Yeah. 1936, Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. Right? It is the Bible on how to be successful. I am telling you. It is the Bible. If you've never read it, get it. You can Google it and listen to it on the parts of it on the internet. If you have Audible, get the Audible version of the book. I am telling you, you need to read this book. You need to read this book. Think and Grow Rich. It's funny because the majority of America already knows that if they want to hide something from us, where do they put it? In the book. Put it in a book. He wrote this book in 1936. James Allen wrote As a Man Thinketh in 1902. And I can go all the way back to 1800, 1700 and tell you the different books. Right? Michelangelo, all these people were writing about how to be successful all the way since the beginning of time. Well, in this book, he defines success by saying, success is the attainment of your definite chief aim without violating the rights of others. He wrote that in 1936. Right? So it's up to you to decide what it's going to be. Anybody ever heard of Earl Nightingale? In 1956, 20 years after Napoleon Hill wrote his book, Earl Nightingale did a recording called Stranger's Secret. And in The Stranger's Secret, he defined success this way. He said, it's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Then he went on to give examples of what success looks like. It's the school teacher who's teaching. It's the woman who decided she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Right? It's the person who decides that, well, I want to become a lawyer, so what does it take? I'm going to go out and do that. In other words, they made up their mind what it is they wanted to do, and then they started doing it. They pursued it from start to finish. But he said something else that was interesting. He said that if you take 100 people at age 25, and you ask them what they want to achieve in their life, what they want to do with their life, every one of them can tell you. Most of the answers sound like this. I want to be successful. I want to be a millionaire. Right? I want to be financially well off. But if you watch them from age 25 to age 65, something strange happens. Only one becomes a multi-millionaire or becomes a billionaire. 4 financially well off. 54 are dependent on someone else or the system for their subsistence. 54 of them. 5 of them are still working. 36 died. Now why do you think this is? What happened? At age 25, they were full of, as my grandma would say, piss and vinegar. Right? They were fired up, they were ready to go. But what happened over 40 years? What's the difference between age 25 and age 65? Other than the years themselves. Other than the years themselves. Well, the millionaire, right, had goals and dreams. and he wrote them down. And then he started to pursue them on a regular basis. Day in and day out, he beat on it and beat on it and beat on it and beat on it until he got it. Right? Before they financially roll off, they had goals and dreams. Maybe they wrote them down, maybe they didn't, but they had them. And then they kept beating on it. And eventually they got their measure of success. The 5 that are still working didn't have any goals and dreams. Right? They just assumed that everything's going to work itself out, and they decided, well, I need to have a job. So they got a job. Now let me say this to you. I'm not against having a job by any stretch of the imagination. I told you I spent 23 years in the Army, right? If you want a job, try having that job. You jump out the plane, I jump out the plane. Run through the woods, I run through the woods. Get the bad guy, Bin Laden. I wasn't on that team, but I would have gladly have gone. So the 5 that were still working had dreams, didn't necessarily achieve them. The 54 had no dreams. Nothing. From day one. At age 25, they talk the big game, right? We know people like this, right? I have family members that talk this big game. We were 25 years old. They'll talk this big game. They didn't do anything, right? They muddled along. They lived in fantasy land. They played the lottery, right? And they didn't do anything for their own success. Before they knew it, time was up. They never identified their dream. So I'm saying to you, identify your dream. Identify your dream and wait. Number 2, give up something good to get something great. Now we all have things and people in our lives that they're good to us, but they ain't good for us. Right? The person of your dreams. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a Mountain Dew drinker. Right? Ain't nothing good about Mountain Dew other than the taste. Nothing good about Mountain Dew. Good thing I already have my kids, right? You have to ask yourself some serious questions when it comes down to people in your life. You know, is this person helping me? Or is this person hindering me? Do they offer support? Do they offer help without asking or expecting something in return?
You better say that a couple of times.
If they want something in return, you gotta go. You gotta go. Now, let me say this, let me back up a minute. Now, don't go home and tell your loved one, Sherman said, I gotta get rid of you. I don't want to wake up in the morning and get to my house and somebody standing outside my house. There's going to be some slow things and some flower crazy. What I'm saying to you is that you need to start dealing with people with a long handle spoon. Right? You know what I'm talking about. You can't tell everybody everything. Right? Paulo Coelho in his book, The Alchemist, said that when you have greatness in you and you try to tell others of it, tell them what you believe. How many of us, because we're dreamers, right? Everybody in this room is a dreamer. I got some dreams for you. You tell people what you're trying to do. What? You trying to do what? Hey, you out of here. How are you going to do that? You from Stuyvesant Avenue. Not no more. Not no more. Right? But my point is that you got to let them go. My Mountain Dew, I was drinking 6, 7, 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew a day. Ooh, yeah, I know. Boy, what was it good. So good. Used to drink, this is my breakfast, 20-ounce Mountain Dew and a honey bun. I told you I'm from Trenton, but my family's from South Carolina. So you know where the honey buns come from, right? So we had to figure out, I had to figure out what it was that I had to let go of. Oh, sorry. So I had to let those things go. But, you know, do this for me. Here's my phone number, 609 558 1780. 80. 609-558-1780. That's my cell phone number. What I'm going to do is this. Everybody text me your telephone number and your email address, and I'm going to give you, I'll send you guys a link to a video that I'll put together on the subject that I was going to finish talking about today, so you can get the rest of it. You only got 2 of the, what I call the 6 routes to success. All right? Thank you.
Y'all can give him a better hand than that. Wiggins, that was absolutely outstanding. And I want to say, I stomped all those streets you're talking about. I was in the cage, go-go dancing. Anyway, this is a digression from what we talk about.
Come on back.
Thank you. to now get into the spotlight speakers, but before we do that, y'all been sitting a minute, please stand up, stretch your legs out. Everybody stand up, stretch your legs out. Aaron said, come on back. Stand up, stretch your legs out. Sitting for long periods of time is not good for you, stretch out. All right, so reach up, grab the ceiling, stretch the body, all right, and shake it down. Now reach up, come up on your toes if you can. If you got heels, I don't suggest, but shake it down. Another one more time, reach up. And side to side if you can. If you mechanics don't allow that, you hear all this popping and snapping. Don't we can't pop and snap nothing back in place in here. And shake it down and have a seat, please. Thank you. Oh, is this thing on? No. Anyway, all right. All right, y'all doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
Good, 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 good. Give yourselves a round, please. Give yourselves. Celebrate you. We're going to move on to our spotlight speakers. That is everyone who is a part of the InterCircle network who wants to share with you what their business is and, you know, what they're offering that may make your life better, easier, you know, and have you, you know, do more beneficial things with various aspects of your life. Okay, spotlight speakers, y'all get a minute and a half. Sorry. So just come with your game. Just come tight. Minute and a half, all right? First spotlight speaker we want to come up are the fabulous Sean and Yvette Brown. Come on, make your way. The clock is ticking. Sean and Yvette Brown, they'll tell you what their business, they got their hands in a couple of things, but let's welcome them a little more robustly.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yvette. This is my husband, Sean. So I have an event planning business. It's called Majestic Moments. It's based out of Central New Jersey. We cater to people in South Jersey, North Jersey. We've done events in Virginia, DC, Maryland, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York. So we do travel. The business specializes in event planning for weddings, baby showers, corporate events, fundraisers, and pretty much any event you can think of. Our model is really just to help take the stress off of people when it comes to certain events. You know, kind of putting ourselves in their place to take the stress off of them so that the little minute things or even the big things, they really don't have to worry. They can just come, enjoy their family, enjoy their friends whenever they have their events. So that's pretty much what we bring to the table. And I do that basically with the passion that I have for people, period. You know, I just like helping people in certain situations. So that's what we bring to the table with Majestic Moments and why it might be different than other event planning businesses, because we really care about the people that we plan the events for. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Now we want to invite him.
That young man for LaRon McKnight. Your name?
Kayshawn.
Kayshawn, come on up.
Okay, Kayshawn, come on up.
9 Round Fitness.
Great. All right, welcome, welcome.
And Sean has the words for you to say.
Good afternoon,
Does he
everyone.
look like a trainer? Got muscles on his muscles?
My name is Kayshawn Green, and I'm here on behalf of my boss, LaRon McKnight. LaRon McKnight is the owner and operator of 9 Rounds Kickboxing Fitness, located in South Plainfield, New Jersey. He has a burning passion and desire to help others. His mission is to help as many people as possible become a better version of themselves. Because that's truly the only person you're in competition with.
Right.
So essentially, 9 Rounds is a fitness franchise that seeks to ascertain optimal fitness results in just 30 minutes. So whether you're an exercise enthusiast or someone just looking to get back in shape, 9 Rounds can work for you. We provide hands-on training to not only ensure safety, but also help you reach your goals. You'll have access to patented technology that tracks the amount of calories that you burn and also monitor your heart rate. So if anyone's interested, we have applications and we're here and we're ready to work with you. Thank you.
I just have a 15-second question. Sisters, why do y'all like this kickboxing and thing? All I know, I told LaRon, he said, don't mess with none of the ladies that work out at my place.
I can tell you why.
They like just kicking and punching things.
I can tell you why. Let me say that into the mic.
They imagining somebody's face on the bed. Thank you. Thank you. See him after if you want to get some extreme stress relief. All right. Don't play with me, Stanley. Okay, here we go. The next person, I'm sorry, darling, you were up next, but it's your turn, Miss Eileen, the fabulous Miss Eileen. And let's all we all can just sit and relax and listen to her most lovely and melodious voice when she gets up here. Come on, mama. She is sharing the love and the money is flowing through her pockets through the referral. Oh, that's paperwork she had in her hand. Yes. So give her another hand, please. She's coming on a wave of love.
Hello everyone, how are y'all doing today? A minute and a half isn't a lot of time, but I'm handing out a piece of paper, and I want to let you know that I need your help. Because there are folks that answer these questions every day or need to have these questions answered every day, and I can help them. So let me help you help them, okay? So, my name is Eileen Marcial. I'm with Legal Shield, and what I do is I provide wills and more. 360 degrees of protection for your family, your small business, and your identity. So to look at these questions really quickly, because I know the clock is ticking, I want you to think about this. The mighty Aretha Franklin died without a will. Do you have a will?
Right.
If you don't, the state of New Jersey has something in mind for you. It doesn't have your family's best interests at heart. Are you a small business owner? And if you are, who do you use for your legal advice? Google? It's only as good as the information that was put up there. Not a good idea. For as little as $39 a month, I could provide you with your own legal protection, human resources, and collections department. If you're a small business from home, it's $9.95. And we do this in Spanish now. Okay, hablo español, abogados. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, we do. And also with identity theft. We also have, this is so rampant, and so many people think, nobody cares because my credit is bad. We can't roll like that because your information's out there, your children's information's out there, and you need to make sure you protect it all. So I am personally deputizing all of you to see me to protect your family and any person that you know that doesn't have a will, has a small business, and is not protected. Thank you, and have a great day. And I just want to say thank you to Sam and salute for all they do. This is an amazing organization. I love it. And get your will done. Thanks.
That many of you have reached out and offered condolences and prayers. I just lost my younger sister 2 years after I lost my mother, both of pancreatic cancer. And just came back from Tampa, Florida to be with my sister. Going back down there on the 6th of September, and the funeral will be on the 8th. But both of those great ladies went on to heaven with a will. So my nieces and nephews know exactly what's supposed to happen. And there's no family friction. Where's Ralph at? Ralph was just in New York with some family friction of an estate that he was put in charge of. My mom detailed everything and who was supposed to get it. My sister and I had no problems at all. I am a Legal Shield family plan owner. For $24.95 a month, I have my own will. My kids will all know, all my loved ones will all know what they are supposed to have if my assets ever need to be divided, right? Because somebody saw my face on a punching bag. It wasn't me.
It was Donald Trump.
Call this lady. Call this lady to protect yourself. We don't want your family arguing in case you go on home early. We want your family to know harmoniously this is how this estate should be divided. This is a person of high integrity, high energy, and a strong supporter of the broadcast and the InterCircle, right? And I want to say here today, thank you to Eileen, and I also want to say you have not one, not two, but 3 checks for $50 coming for inviting LaRon McKnight and Brother Kayshawn that's here to be an InterCircle member, for inviting Brother Sean Brown who's an InterCircle member, and for inviting Miss Natalie Hunt, who is an InterCircle member, and Mr. Frank Deming, who's an InterCircle. So I correct myself. It's not 3 checks of $50. It is 4 checks. So this lady's going to get a check at the next Celebrate Our Greatness on September 29th for $200. I'm sure she'll be on 4 members recruited at that point. But we want to thank her for helping us to grow rapidly. Thank you, Violet.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's move on. Who is next? Mr. Chris Johnson. Give him a hand, everyone.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm here representing Grades for Life. It's a organization that I started, a nonprofit. We actually work with schools, communities, and organizations. And what we do is we have a rewards program. That rewards program is on a mobile application. What they can do, what students can do, teachers and parents, they can enter their grades, things that they do positive for a community, and they get points that they can redeem with different vendors. So basically, it's a virtual marketplace. It almost creates a vendor list at the schools, at the organizations, and the communities. So basically, what we want to do, we're actually partnering with the InterCircle. We're proud to be here, and we want to open that up for everybody, within the InterCircle to basically market their products and have a direct connection with the schools. And you're also helping them to be motivated and get better grades and do well in the community. So basically, it's a great program that we're introducing. We're actually going to be working with a school in Willingboro, New Jersey. We're actually going to have an assembly with a school in Willingboro on September 27th, Thursday, September 27th. And we'd like to invite everybody to be a part of it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. He came well under his time.
I need to say this.
Okay.
Of that $105 billion, a large chunk of that, or the largest part of the black community's income comes from school teachers.
Yeah.
We have a strong group of educators. There's a weekend each month in Trenton where the New Jersey Education Association meets. You want to be down there that weekend. And the bulk of the black educators in this state are black women. Right, so when you talk about where some of that $105 billion is going to come from, it's going to come from partnering with Grades for Life as we do this assembly caravan across the state of New Jersey. We're going to bring professional athletes, we're going to bring educators, we're going to bring entrepreneurs into the schools so that those teachers and administrators know who you are and would want to do business with you. And I'm proud to be a board member of Grades for Life. I encourage you to come out to the assemblies. We're starting in Willingboro, but it's not going to stop there. There's going to be an assembly every month. And I'm just honored to be on that board, and we're going to be working hard to partner you all with the educators and the administrators. And the icing on the cake is you also get the parents. Because all them kids got parents who can spend money with you. All right, so you want to get to know this fabulous young brother.
Okay, Mr. Terrence Grissom, you're up.
Yeah.
So look here, everybody whose name I call is all surprised looking. Stay frosty, y'all. You're coming up here. But don't be surprised. Is Grissom Flooring. He can tell people that.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you so much.
That best action with your little flower looking thing.
For the whole outfit, the ensemble is
I appreciate it. I'm excited about today. I know I have limited time, and I'm going to stay within that time frame. My name is Terrence Grissom, owner of the Flooring Group LLC. A base business out of Trenton, New Jersey. Been in Trenton for over 30 years. I'm 43. I've been in Trenton over 30-something years. But my main objective today is not to really go deep into that, but it is to share the importance of homeowners and investors really grabbing hold to getting the right people into their homes. especially when they're spending resources. Resources is a precious commodity this time and age, and we have to be wise about what we're doing when spending them. Having the right person in your home is very important. Consultations are very important. I'm huge on consultations. And it's just important that I share with you, if you're interested in getting your home remodeled, your bathroom done, your floor prepped, or either repaired, that you understand the importance of the avenues that you need to take while doing such. Spending money is not something that somebody does just frivolously. You have to spend wisely and you have to spend effectively. So I do big consultations and allowing people to have a clear understanding in what you need to do for that. So the name of my business is Flooring Group LLC. Again, my name is Terrence Grissom. I have business cards. My email information is flooringgroup29@gmail.com. My office location is 256 Parkway Avenue in Ewing, New Jersey. Thank you so much for the time.
All right, everybody, just a few more. The next person is Natalie Hunt. Yes, let's give her a hand to come on up. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Natalie Hunt, and I am the co-founder and principal of Easy Protection Solutions, which is a final expense insurance agency. We're domiciled here in New Jersey, and we're licensed in 16 states. We have certified agents in the final expense arena called final expense planning specialists. Now, if you already have life insurance, that's great. And as you know, the policy's death benefits will be used by your beneficiaries to cover every expense, such as mortgage, college tuition, everyday living expenses, and so on. But I beg the question, again, I beg the question, do your beneficiaries know how much of that death benefit should be used for your final expenses and funeral expenses from the money that you left them? Probably not. Most people think that just having life insurance is leaving a legacy, but they don't understand or realize that they are not ensuring peace in the family. Unless you have a policy set aside for the final expenses and have a documented funeral plan that can be attached to that will and filed with courts, you really have not left your legacy. As a broker for our clients, not only do we provide free benefits such as a detailed funeral planner, but we also generate the lowest cost for a policy that is being set aside for final expenses. So regardless of an individual's age or medical conditions such as HIV, lupus, multiple sclerosis, or if a person is 90 years old, we can provide them coverage at the lowest cost possible. So both the insurance plan, the funeral plan, and the policy fulfills two purposes: removing the stress of your family of having to pay your going away celebration, and two, eliminating the possibility of family conflict. Again, my name is Natalie Hunt of Easy Protection Solutions. Our toll-free number is, and my phone number is 877-390-1987. And my cell is 908-202-2898. My email address is natalie@easyprotection.com. And our website address is www.easyprotection.com. I have business cards that I will leave here on the table for you to pick up. If you're interested, please call me. Thank you so much for your time.
I am a client as of today.
Woo-hoo!
And now when you have a guest who came from a long way, would you let her introduce her guest?
Sure. No, go ahead.
Yes, my guest today is a very beloved friend of mine and a business associate also, Mr. Philip Kyle Brooks. Mr. Brooks has always been here in New Jersey, but he has relocated to Florida. He comes back and forth, and I'm hoping that we can find a network down in Florida that he can join.
What part of Florida is it?
Or he has a friend in Georgia too, so we'll see.
What part of Florida do you live in?
Ocala.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ocala, right, Tampa. Right off of Route 4?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we have Fort Lauderdale and Tampa, you can choose which you want to affiliate with.
Probably stay right here in New Jersey.
All right, be with us.
I had a conversation about Ocala, that's what I was looking for the memory for. All right, now we want to have come up Sam Whitfield Simon, that is represented by Natasha. Did I not say it right?
Samuel Whitfield.
Samuel, it says Sam Whitfield Simon.
Samuel Whitfield Simmons.
Samuel Whitfield Simmons. We need to talk to the data entry person. Anyway, I can say this pretty good, Natasha Rogers. Please welcome her warmly, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Stan and the InterCircle for having me. I'm so excited. This is my second meeting here. I have and am a CEO and founder of the Samuel Whitfield Simmons Organization, which is a nonprofit. Here in the state of New Jersey, we service families with food and clothing, furniture, or whatever we find their needs to be, and we also mentor youth. One of the great things about SWS is it's actually a unique name, named after my grandfather, Samuel Whitfield Simmons, who was a minister in Newark back in the 1960s. Not sure if everybody's familiar with Newark back then, but it was a very dilapidated area. Not many resources for families, and he had the very first food program where families would stop at his church, eat food, and then go off to work and school. So as a little girl who is in the city of Newark, I grew up around what he did and thought of, what is my passion, what is my purpose in this world, not so much who I wanted to work for, but why did God bring me to this earth? What have I been placed here to do? And it aligned with the same things that my grandfather did, helping my community, being of service, giving, and finding anywhere that I am resources that would build up my community as a whole. And so it has been an honor to do this nonprofit for over 13 years. It's been amazing. If you've never been able to give or to help someone, try it. It will change your life. It will transform every entity in your family. It will transform you as an individual. You will find that whatever your needs were, they weren't big at all. They were not what you thought they were. And so I encourage you to go out into your communities, find someone, go into your families, find someone, and just give without even thinking of receiving. And your blessings will overflow tremendously. As God said, you will have cup runneth over of blessings. I want for nothing. Nothing. He provides for me every single day just because I decided in my life to be a blessing to other people, no matter where I am. I want to find out what your needs are. And then I want to go out into the community and I want to rally for you to be a blessing for you. Not for me, just for you. And so I encourage us as we sit here today, as we look at the girls in the back, that they are our history. So we should commit ourselves to making their lives great. So one of the things I was thinking of today, what could I bring to Stan, who has blessed my organization with a donation already? And Stan, we are getting ready to distribute our back to school supplies for children who are getting ready to go back to school, who are going to go into the classrooms without pencils and pens and notebooks, and then be expected to have the idea of learning, even though they don't have the tools. So what I decided to do, in your sister and your mother's honor, who was such advocates of education, is to allow you to choose the students in the school, and we will dedicate our back to school drive to whatever school and children that you deem you would like to do that for in your sister and your mother's honor.
No, y'all can hear me. Here's what I'd like you guys to do. Chris, you heard they need backpacks, all that in Somerset. Don't you live in Somerset? I do. All right. Listen, I just met this lady through Eileen Marciel, and I'm so fired up. My mom and my sister were education warriors. My mother taught me as a little boy that Jacob's ladder is the path to heaven, but education is the path of security and blessing here on this earth. right? She was like, that is the ticket, right? So she worked 2 jobs, first as a domestic servant and as a nurse at night. Put my sister and I through very expensive private schools by herself. So I'm proud to say I don't have a hero, I have a shero that's in heaven advocating to God for my success on this earth. And I can hear her every day saying, get it, more education. So the 3 organizations that the Matthews Broadcast Scholarship Fund, which was created in my mom and my sister's name last Monday, the 3 organizations we're going to work with is Grades for Life, the Samuel L. Whitfield Foundation, and here in Trenton, Minding Our Business, which is an entrepreneur academy that Kevin Wortham has run for 21 years. Kevin unfortunately could not be here today. So your giving to the scholarship fund is going directly to them. We've already made a commitment for $2,000, and I'm proud to say that $500 of that commitment has already been kept in the name of the following individuals: Dean Barbara Johnson at the Thomas Edison College, Jose Feliciano of the U.S. Army out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Ms. Eileen Marcial, Mr. Ralph Henderson, our CFO, Mr. Sean Brown, and LaRon McKnight, Ms. Janet Brooks, Ms. Marsha Lodge. Thank you from my mom, myself, my sister. You have made it pop, and Ms. Mahari Lodge. I said Eileen Marshall.
No. I just wanted to.
And so, in 7 days' time, right, we have collected more than $500 just on inspiration. But now we're going to get serious about it. Okay? So if you go to the MatthewsBroadcast.com, click on the item for the scholarship fund. Those funds will be shared by those 3 organizations on a monthly basis. Ralph and I had a conversation at our meeting for lunch on Friday afternoon. At the end of the month, we will see what we have in the scholarship fund account, and we will expend it to these 3 organizations, and we're going to have a great time doing it. All right, so if you want to help, go to the MatthewsBroadcast.com, click on the scholarship fund item, make the $50 contribution. You're looking at where it's going to go. You got a backpack or some pencils, call the time. I thank you so much for all the work that you do. We didn't even talk about how they come to the help of emergency families in emergency and crisis.
Right, so if anybody in the room have families who are without food, without clothing, without furniture, we have a lot of families sleeping on the floor. SWS services the whole state of New Jersey. Even though we're located in New Brunswick and Somerset, we service the whole state. There's not many things that I can't get. I am a master networker. I have a lot of relationships, whether it's television, whether it's radio, whether it's athletes. I go after the wealthy to get it to the people who need it. That's my job. And so those who have access are more than willing to give it to me. They receive their tax write-off, and then I take it immediately to the family. I'm not a person who believes in storage. I don't take your merchandise and anything that I take from someone stored in a bin like a lot of nonprofits do. I work for a lot of nonprofits, so I know what they do because I saw it firsthand before I started my own. That was the reason why I started my own, because the community was not being serviced. The nonprofits do not service them. And so part of my issue is I get it from them and I take it directly to the family myself with the help of my college volunteers. And so that guarantees me that that family is receiving that service. And so I am not a nonprofit that's up in the big house. I'm on the ground running. That's where I like to be. I can be there, but I like to be on the ground. I like to see my people, talk to my people, interact with my people, and let them know that they can do whatever they desire, and I'm right next to them. And so if you are going to partner with a nonprofit, please make sure that they're doing the work. If you see the bins in the community, never put your stuff in them. It's a for-profit business.
Gotcha.
It never gets to the people you think.
And they sell it.
They sell it to third world countries as bulk sale. It's not to help our community. They come and dump the bins there. They leave, pick them up, and go make their money.
Teach.
So make sure you remember that.
I just want to give a testimonial. I've been working with this young lady for 10 years. I get called, she won't call me at 3 in the morning because she knows my phone's on mute. But there's been times at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, she gets a call from a battered woman with her children cowering, scared. She goes, gets those people out of that dangerous situation, gets them into a hotel, then reaches out to her network of people to be able to pay for that stay.
No, that's right.
You know, food, clothes, anything, she's there. So we need, as you said, she is the one that's going to get it to the people. So we need to get the funds to her because what she does doesn't come for free.
I know that's right.
So we need to get some dollars in there. Just this week, she was dealing with a situation for some kids that needed some extra, the rest of their tuition money to go to class. What did she do? Busted her neck to go around and make sure that money got it. Stand help. But we need more help. She needs more help. So everybody in this room that's got a couple extra dollars, got some extra stuff, SWS is the way to go. It's not, you get the tax write-off, but it's not about the tax write-off. It's about blessing someone else, and the blessings come so much further. So SWS, nonprofit, gets it done, and Natasha's the woman. Thank
So we got Robin Hood, and now we got Natasha Hood. Yeah, yes, Rogers, but I had to make it right. Before I came from our community. I would like Alicia Woodward to come on up, please. And our people goes out. Just give it to her. Keep plugging it in.
All your gear, your wonderful
Oh,
gear.
goodness. I shouldn't be surprised, right? Hair care in Bath Essential, made from the ingredients of Mother Earth. Everyone is very conscious of all the toxins and everything in the air. Let's be conscious about what goes on our skin and in our bodies. My products, of course, are made from natural ingredients. They are custom with a choice of over 100 different scents, which includes women's, men's, unisex, and essential oils, bath gels, shower gels, scrubs, sugar scrub, foaming scrubs. That's pretty much what I do, and I am passionate about it. I mean, you got to pull me out the kitchen sometimes, but I'm progressing. Sometimes I get stagnant, and that was a great question because it is me that stops me from succeeding further. But I thank you very much.
All right.
She's a very modest person, but she was the InterCircle member who was selected by the Newark Economic Development Corporation to be one of 5 outstanding businesses in the New Jersey community. She was invited to be in the pitch competition at New Jersey Pack in Newark. And we had 2 members of the InterCircle who was selected to be one of the 5 outstanding minority businesses. I hate the word minority. I don't know who's a minority when 42% of New Jersey looks like us. So we are very proud of you. And again, you need to talk to Patrick, you need to talk to Sherman, and you need to talk to Mr. Scott, because the only reason you're not doing 7 figures of all those natural products is because we need to make our community aware of you, and we need to get the skill set up so that you can get that distribution to them, and then, you know, you can come and give a whole lot of backpacks. You saved this lady for last because this author, this Amazon best-selling author, has a new book, and we want everybody to be at her book signing and to help her take it over. To be a best-selling book, you need to sell 100,000 copies. How much is the book on for?
$11.99 and for the paperback and $5.99 for the Kindle version.
All right. So 11.99 times 100,000 times is about 1.1 million. So then you can get some backpacks. Use some help. All right. Real quickly, I'd like Darren Green to come forward. I would also like Eileen Marcial to come forward. And I would also like Sean Brown to come forward. Our membership and motivation director, you caused 2 people in the month of August to join the InterCircle. I thank you. You're on fire. Keep growing us. September 29th at the InterCircle, we will have a check for $100 for you. Keep on encouraging this brother. On behalf of your friend LaRon, tonight, you and Yvette have a check for $50 coming and celebrate our greatness on the 29th. Yeah. Keep growing us. And Eileen and Sean Brown. So Eileen is just going to get a whole lot of this. We want to thank y'all for helping us. Thank you so much for being here. Mahari, the floor is yours.
Inside of self, outside of an ordinary. Journeying outside of this coma, I found truth, I found peace, and I found clarity. The words came, and I wrote. And as I wrote, I began to float. My heart broke open and pure love flowed from my being. I found poetry, or maybe poetry found me. Words that I know, words that know me. My name is Mahari. I am a wellness lifestyle coach and yoga teacher. And my philosophy is, we journey through this life and we should journey deliberately with purpose in mind. And my purpose is to serve. And I'm doing that through my work and also with this book. It's a collection of poems and life quotes. And it's powerful. Because I wrote it and it came from the very essence of my being. It came from my soul, which is why it's called soul expression. It's intuitive, it's highly introspective, and I like to describe it as poetry for the bold soul because it challenges the reader to move beyond the perimeters of ordinary, connect with the absolute self, and find resolution within. So I'm encouraging all of you to go to Amazon, get a copy of my book, share a review, give me your feedback, do a post on social media if you're on social media, Instagram, tag me in it. Let me know what resonates with you, what speaks to your soul. And join me for my book signing on September 1st at the Classics Youth Book at 4 Lafayette Street in Trenton. I've been living in New York for 10 years, and I worked outside of the area in New York and West Orange. And I'm coming back to a place where I'm building and connecting with so many dynamic people, and I want to reach my people. I have a message, I have a voice, and I have to fulfill this duty to get the word and the power back to the people so they know who they are, essentially who we are. So, get my book. Thank you.
Where did you say the book was?
And Amazon. Amazon. And you can.
What day is the book signing?
September 1st.
Where is it going to be?
At 4 Lafayette Street at Classics Used Books.
All
What
right.
time?
We got the instructions.
What's our time?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So from 12 to 2, we have a book signing. And then from 2 to 4, we have an open mic. And anyone who has a talent or a gift to express, I want you to come out and, be a part of the open mic and just share, because this is what the world needs to connect us and bring us closer together. They're sharing and expressing the essence of who we really are.
Right. One final question. Would you come up here, Ms. Scott, please? Come up here, please. Don't think about about that punching bag.
Not at all, it's all.
Mahari, who is your mentor?
This lovely lady right here, Miss Summer Scott.
You could hold the microphone. That's right, move around. How long have you guys been working together?
It's over a year, right? Somewhat. Yeah, I had a car accident and I walked into it's the Beer Natural, it's a Big Bear, and I saw her flyer and I'm like, this is the universe speaking to me. So I took her class, and from the first time I took someone's class, my spirit just felt at home. I'm like, I'm looking at her, and that's gonna be me. Like I was seeing a mature version of myself, and I just fell in love with her and her spirit.
Not that mature.
Wise, mature and wise. Thank you.
All right, now, Mahari has also decided to work with the Matthews Broadcast InterCircle, and as I said, right, if you join today, 50 will be on your way. Since she came to the organization via our HR director and events director, we don't have cash at the moment. Oh, well, we do have cash. Thank you so much for Mahari coming to the organization.
So I wanna, thank y'all for giving us this much time, you know. I've been a part of a lot of organizations, been on the board of a lot of nonprofits and corporate organizations, been tucked away for about 25 years in a spiritual organization, and truth be told, I'm just getting outdoors in the last 5 years. Most of my adult life, I was kind of sequestered, you know, in the leadership of a very strong and dynastic traditional African spiritual culture. Sometimes the work that you do, you don't know if people really appreciate what you do and what your value is beyond numbers. Sometimes you just don't feel that you have a certain level of appreciation. So the work can't be about the accolades and the aggrandizement. It's got to be about the passion and your desire to make a contribution, to have a purposeful life. And let God give you the reward. There's a saying that says, man awards, but God rewards. Sometimes you lose sight of that when you're in the work. So I want to thank all of you for coming. This donation, or this commission that I earned, it belongs to the organization. So I'm giving it back. You can give it to for book bags, or you can give it to Grace for Life.
Natasha, would you come up?
Yeah, this might as well just give it to Natasha. Right?
That's right. That's right.
It's not a big chunk, but it is a sincere chunk. So that's what I wanted to share. I'm going to turn it back over to Stan and take a bit of a retreat to organize.
Stay right there.
I'm not turning it back over
No,
to Stan.
stay right there. Everybody come up and gather around Miss Scott so that JB can take the group shot. Where did JB go?
To the men's room.
Okay, so.
Take a call. Get some food. I don't know.
No, JB's coming back. Come on up, guys. Let's gather around and make like a little half circle around her. And then we'll take this group shot. And then you're free to network with the people in the room that you don't know. Please network with each other so that we can patronize each other's businesses. I'm gonna see if I can find JB. There you go. There he is. There goes JB. JB, you ready for you when you're ready, man.
Come on, Mama Pat. on up here.
And this, what are you doing? You're part of the family. You can't be in a room with us and not be in the picture. Come on, young lady.
Amy, what you doing over there? You put your energy in this today. Can we do, yeah, does it?
Listen, it's coming.
With it.
It's
We're gonna work out. Straight to sunset. My tribe, this is my tribe right here. Come in this house.
Come on, Barry.
I gotta get
Then you tell
everybody
Barry
in
to
a
come in.
little bit, as much as
I'm
possible.
about to get up on that chair again, Jeff.
Yeah.
Back like you don't know.
Come on, Barry, we need you in this shot.
These chairs roll, I don't know.
My bad.
JB, you can stand on the table. Just don't break the thing down.
All right, let's get this going. I'm gonna take two with another lens too, so I want everybody to stay here afterwards, all right? On 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Take one more.
Come on, we got one more person outside. JB, tell her to come in.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
peeking. She's like, oh, they left me out.
She went down the other end?
Coming down to
Oh, right.
There you go. Come on.
Want to jump in?
Come on, Brian.
Yeah, jump in there, man. Set this back.
Chair do have wheels. I was about to say, is there one that's still in here? All of them.
Let me see some light or something.
And make sure that door don't lock them out.
You got the order.
Well,
I don't know, it was open early.
there's a
JB, just get on the table and kneel on the table. Right there.
Trying to get me
There you go.
I always say
He's gonna do it. Brother man way.
don't know no other way.
All right, everybody on 3. 1, 2, 3. We got everybody good.
Careful.
All right, go ahead and network with you guys. Do some business with Alicia Woodward. She's got those great scents over there.
Gentlemen, I was telling you about the Grace for Life.
Where you at?
I'm in Somerset.
Okay.
We're working on, we have a school.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm on anything from
Mentorship over there too? Or?
Yeah.
Like, so now, so,
That's all we need.
Please support Alicia. She has those fabulous creams and body stuff over here. You can slip and slide around. Please support Alicia. She got a slip and slide for you. Even if you just come over here and spend $10, support her, okay? All right.
How you doing? All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, all you need is 10 members to start a chapter, so I don't think there is. So let me check that and confirm. I just don't want people get a little optimal, why wouldn't you want to start it? Makes sense. And then you and that, all the strategies, training, and you begin to build. We have a big, we have a world full of passion, technical aspects of this. Okay, now you have an organization. Okay, you really have any and all things, whatever you need.
Turn this on.